Starting out with what blasphemy actually is, it's bringing God's name or any of his names down to the point of disgust or hatred or anger or any negative type of way, even being surprised. So, for example, if you say, oh my God, if you say OMG, if you say Jesus Christ, if you say holy cow, holy, whatever it may be, all of these things are considered as blasphemy because they're being you're using God's name in places that aren't in worship or preaching or prayer. And those are really the only places that God's name should be used in. His name should never be brought down to a point of disgust or anything like that. It should always be glorified and worshipped for who he really is. Taking into account the damages with blasphemy and how our society doesn't really realize the true damage of it, or they don't even care, that's what really brought me to making this video. And I also don't make this video from a stance of condemning you or anyone else. As always, I just want it to be a point of realization for you guys, because I was in the same spot 2 years ago where I was using the Lord's name in the wrong ways. But it's been 2 years free of that behavior and those sayings. So I wanted to teach you guys how you guys can actually come to this point, and a couple other things too. So let's just get into that. So for the first teaching point, I want you to think of whether or not you would use your mother's name in substitution for a cuss word. So if you would use her name in substitute for feeling of disgust, anger, or negativity. Now if you're answering truthfully, you would not. And now you ask yourself why. It's because your mother loves you, she cares for you, and she does pretty much everything for you, right? You care for your mom, and that's not a place that you should really bring your mother's name into. You honor her, right? So to bring her name down to some point like that wouldn't really make sense. But now if we switch up this analogy to the whole point of this video, which you can probably see where I'm going with this, if you look at God and you realize that, oh, God made me, number one, he loves me infinitely, and he cares for me every single day, he does so much for me, to the point where he died for you, then why would it make sense to bring his name down to the level of disgust or negativity? His name should always be used in places of, once again, worship, preaching, or prayer. His name should be held to that higher point of holiness. So to take that away doesn't do him any favor at all. It dishonors him. So for you to honor your mom but not to honor God, that doesn't make sense. You should honor both. And it's really dangerous once again, because if he's doing all of this for you, why would you ever mistreat him in that way? It's not something that you have to put energy into. It doesn't require energy to build this new habit. It's simply something that you just withdraw yourself from. You don't have to do any extra thing. It doesn't require any more time or energy. You just have to simply not do it. So this is such a simple fix, and again, it's going to take you a little bit of time. It took me about, I remember, a month when I first realized it. When I first realized the damage that it was causing. It took me about a month of honest trying, where I would sometimes slip up every few days and just accidentally say it. But every single time that I did say it, I had the conviction that pulled me back from it even more. And I realized, oh, it's not something that I have to do, it's something that I just have to not do. So after that month of doing it, of trying and then failing, but then, keeping on going, I realized that I just completely stopped doing it. And I haven't even said it since. It's been 2 years since I've actually used God's name in how do I even say it? In like blasphemy type ways. Because I honestly cannot remember the last time that I actually said it, other than the point in this video. So there's 2 other things that I haven't talked about yet that are within the same boundaries of blasphemy. Number 1, saying on God. And I used to say this like a ton. But saying this, again, why are you going to put something on the creator of you? He respects you, he loves you, and he cares for you more than you will ever even understand. So to bring something and put it onto him as if it's like a sacrifice, you don't got to do that. He already sacrificed his whole life for you. That's what Jesus Christ did. So putting something on God, that's just a symbol of, once again, disrespect. And then the other term is holy cow. You hear so many people saying this, but when you sit down and you think, why am I even saying this? You can't even answer that question. A lot of people don't even really realize it at all. Like, think to yourself, do you know why you're saying holy cow? Like, you hear other people saying it, so you say it, but where does it really come from? And now that's where we get into a really interesting topic with the precision and the planning of the devil. A lot of us view the devil as a stupid dude with horns, all of that. But the devil was once an angel. So we need to understand that he's powerful, he's strong, and he is very intelligent. And when the devil was planning his approach to hurting God by making us blasphemic, he was trying to look at a way that he could hurt God the most, make us blaspheme even more. And that's where the term holy cow comes in. He didn't make us, or he didn't influence us to say like, oh, holy banana, or holy house, or anything like this. And while it still may be hurtful, it's not as harmful or hurtful as holy cow. So if we look back to the book of Exodus within the Bible, we see the story of the Israelites making a golden calf when they felt that God wasn't really answering them and that he was being silent. So basically what they did, they took all of their jewelry, all of their gold possessions, and they molded it into a golden calf. And then they used that as their new idol or their new god. So you guys can see where I'm headed with this. A calf is just a baby cow. And when the devil was doing his planning to hurt God the most, he saw that at Mount Sinai, where this was going on back with the Israelites, he saw that this hurt God a lot. He saw that it made him very upset. So he's like, okay, how can I replicate this? Boom. Now we have the term holy cow that so many people are saying, not even knowing how much it is really hurting God. See, the devil's whole plan is to make you think that these things are all innocent, that they have no meaning or no purpose. To be like, oh no, it's not that deep, it's not that deep. But really it is. I just showed you that one example. Think about how many other examples there are. I'll make videos on them, but it's really so many that I probably don't even know myself. Again, the devil is smart. He knows what he's doing with this. Now obviously he's going to lose in the end, all praise be to God with that, but he's hurting God and he's hurting us in the meantime. The devil's way of attacking God is by attacking your faith in God. He knows that separating you and making you sin against God is only going to bring you further away from him. God restores you, he fulfills you. He offers you eternity in paradise with him forever. The devil's way of winning is by you losing. How's he going to make you lose? He's going to make you keep sinning against God to the point where you're just careless. You're indifferent to God's existence. And when you stay away from God, you're staying away from the kingdom of God. And the devil does that by bringing you to absence of God. The absence of God is darkness, but being in the presence of God is light and paradise. I'll be down in the comments if you guys have any questions or statements, anything like that. Thank you guys for watching. Stay strong, stay in your faith, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.